The sun rises over the Toronto skyline, casting a warm, golden glow through the morning fog. Inside apartment 4B, the day begins with a quiet, comforting rhythm. It is a scene of total domestic predictability. In the kitchen, there is the familiar sizzle of eggs on the stove and the rich smell of freshly brewed coffee. Down the hall, a husband named Tariq stands before a mirror, smoothly adjusting his tie and crisp suit jacket for a long day at the corporate office. His wife, Shazia, herds the children toward the door. Two young boys, Samir and Hamza, rush in with backpacks slung over their shoulders, lightly arguing over a video game. Moments later, their 5-year-old sister waddles into the kitchen, rubbing her eyes and clutching a stuffed bear. To any external observer watching through the window, this is the picture-perfect family. Every motion is flawlessly timed, like a well-oiled clock. There is no confusion here, no missing steps, and absolutely zero signs of chaos. We typically associate monsters with the dark, entities defined by violence and the breakdown of order. We expect a threat to look and act like an intrusion. The short story, The Mimicry of Apartment 4B, recontextualizes this piece. This family, eating breakfast and catching the bus, operates as a flawless, unnatural fake. The mimics weaponize the blinding, predictable rhythm of a morning routine to disappear into the city by using the mundane to remain invisible. To pull off a successful infiltration, mirroring a human's current actions is not enough. An imposter needs to fabricate a deep, historical anchor to prove they belong. This photograph shows tourists at Niagara Falls. In the hallway of apartment 4B, the mimics use vintage, years-old frames containing images exactly like this one. They strategically place physical props of family trips and local landmarks around their home to serve as manufactured proof of a shared past. That manufactured history allows them to walk out their front door and seamlessly integrate into the external world. Tariq heads down to the parking garage for his commute, while Shazia walks the kids to the yellow school bus, where they chat with other children from the complex. By layering this deeply constructed history with flawless daily execution, the mimics create an impenetrable veneer of objective truth. It deflects all external scrutiny. But here is the most striking detail from the text. They do not know they are faking it. In their own minds, they genuinely, psychologically believe they are a real family who belongs in that apartment. This diagram illustrates unconscious mimicry. On the left, Model A represents conscious deception, where an imposter actively lies. This creates friction and stress points between their true nature and their outward actions. But Model B shows unconscious mimicry. The imposter internalizes their false identity, creating a seamless loop between internal belief and outward routine. With zero conscious deception, the entity experiences no guilt, displaying none of the behavioral tells an investigator relies on to spot a liar. When an entity is completely convinced of its own fabricated reality, it renders every traditional method of unmasking a monster completely useless. Which brings us to the other side of the drywall. Right next door, in apartment 4A, the Wasim family has not slept a single wink all night. They are paralyzed by sheer terror. Through their terrified ears, the comforting sounds from the morning routine take on a very different context. The sizzle of the eggs and light-hearted arguments of the children are stripped of their warmth. To the Wasim family, these sounds are the unfeeling, rhythmic grinding of a machine performing its programmed task. It is the absolute clockwork perfection of apartment 4B's routine that directly fuels the psychological breakdown of the neighbors. The total absence of human error is exactly what proves it isn't human. Outside, the mimics head to work and school with absolute certainty, blending perfectly into the city. Meanwhile, inside 4A, the Wasim family remains locked inside their home, completely isolated and trapped by what they know. The tragedy of this story does not stem entirely from the existence of the imposter. It stems from the utter isolation of the observer who sees through the disguise. The Wasims are left entirely alone with the truth, watching an anomaly flawlessly integrate into the world they used to trust.